Many years ago, I had the opportunity to study with a jazz guitar player out of West Palm Beach, Florida, named Richard Medell. He taught me how to take jazz standards out of the real book and create chord melody arrangements. Later on, I realized that knowing the chords all over the neck and all the inversions was not only good for composition and chord melody arrangements, but it also helped in my soloing, because being able to see the chord tones within the scales helped me to identify what notes to land on. Now, having said that, it's equally as important to train your ear to be able to hear and identify the chord tones. And by doing that, that gives you a dual perspective, by being able to see the chord tones on the neck. And that doesn't necessarily mean looking at your guitar neck. I mean, you could be visualizing it in your mind's eye, and being able to hear the chord tones. That gives you a deep understanding, a deep perspective. And you know, that's why we have two eyes and two ears, for the a depth perception. So by putting those two things together, that will help you to become a better soloist and a better musician. The definition of a chord is 3 notes or more played at the same time. Now, generally speaking, a chord is built from every other note in the scale that it comes from. Now, I say generally speaking because there are chords such as sus2 and sus4s and so on that we're going to cover later that are not built that way. But right now we're going to talk about chords that are constructed using diatonic thirds. Okay? So the first chords we're going to talk about are triads. Okay? So let's start with the major triad. The major triad comes from the major scale, and it's built off the 1st, 3rd, and 5th degrees of the major scale. So let's take the C major scale, okay? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right? Now we can designate a number for each note. So C would be 1, D is 2, E is 3, and so on. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so the C major scale is built off the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, which would be C, E, G. All right, and now let's play that on the high set of strings. Okay, string sets 1, 2, and 3. And we can also play that on string sets 2, 3, and 4, like this. Okay, and then 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then 4, 5, and 6. All right, the triad has 2 inversions, the 1st and the 2nd. Okay, the 1st inversion is built off the 3rd. Okay, so as before, the root form was voiced 1, 3, 5, C, E, G. The 1st inversion is 3, 5, 1, E, G, C. So essentially what we did was we took the root and we put it in the highest note, or in the soprano. Okay, so let's go to string sets 1, 2, and 3, and here is the C major triad, 1st inversion. Also like to think of this as C over E. Okay, a lot of times in chord charts, when you see slash chords, the note on the left designates the chord name, the actual chord, and the note on the right of the slash designates what note is in the bass. Okay, so this would be written as C/E. Okay. Okay, now we can also play that right here. Okay, or here. And then on the low set of strings. Okay, now the second inversion is built off the fifth, so it would be voiced 5, 1, 3, or G, C, E. So on string sets 1, 2, and 3, that would be like this. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. All right, 3, 4, and 5. And then 4, 5, and 6. Besides practicing each chord form on the different sets of strings, like I recommend that you stay on the same set of strings and go through the different inversions. And also, I recommend that you hit the root first and then play the chord, like this. Knowing where the root is very important, because, you know, we could take this chord shape, here's a C major, right? If we move it up a whole step here to D, okay, well this is D major. Okay, or if we took this first inversion, right, here's C, right? If we moved it to here to F, here's F major, first inversion. Okay, or we take this second inversion here. Okay. And if we wanted B flat, here we know C is right here, so B flat would just go down a whole step. Okay, so not only knowing where the root is, you'll want to memorize the numeric voicings for each shape. You'll want to know this is a 1, 3, 5, and this is 3, 5, 1, okay, and this is a 5, 1, 3. Because as we go along, we're going to manipulate the chord voicings to create other chords. So if you know where the third is and the fifth is, it's going to make this a whole lot easier.